And benvenuti, fellas and bellas all over the world. Welcome to another episode of the Napoli Rant. I am Ralph Biz, joined by my co-host, Rafa Risto.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What's up? What's up? Ralph Bin, meaning you're Ralph Bin waiting on Rafa, right?
Ralph Bin waiting. That's a good one.
Life happens. We have to be fashionably late. We make up for it on our Napoli Down goodbye. You know that.
Yeah. We give you that extra time at the end. We it's like one of those loans. All the interest comes at the end of the. But hello to everybody in the chat and all our audio listeners on the Far From Studios podcast. Let's get this rant on the road. We will match review the Napoli Bologna game this week. Another W for the Partenopeo. We got Manacho Meret. All the fans super nervous out there about Meret after a couple mistakes in that game. And the main topic, Three's company, man, with Victor coming in almost as a super sub with Bologna. What is Spalletti to do with these three guys? We're going to talk about that and more. Of course, the beast of the match. But this is post Roma rant. It's actually going to start next Monday.
That's our good friend Gaetano Solazzo, Professore, the Presidente of Tri-State Napoli Club. Really fast before we start, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out to Luna last night. I was able to drop everything I was doing and get there. It wasn't it didn't look like it was going to be in the cards for me. Everybody knows it's a long ride for me, but it happened. I made it happen. Happy to be there for not only our first win, our first goals at Luna. And it was great. So everybody that was there, thank you so much. Gaetano, Peter, obviously, thank you guys. Dan, Chop, thank you all for doing your thing. And we're proud ambassadors of the Tri-State Napoli Club, Ralph Bizzato and myself. If you guys want more information, _Napoli Club on Twitter at _Napoli Club. Reach out to the guys and see how you can meet up with us for meets. And we have some exciting things in the future. So be on the lookout for show. We got surprised with Serie A representative over there yesterday.
Guys, rep in the house, getting valid out there.
Yeah.
Good job to everybody out there working.
Yes, thank you very much. You guys doing a great job with the club. Very good.
But speaking of excitements, Napoli defeat Bologna 3-2 at home at the Stadio Diego Maradona. After I think going down, did we go down first? Was that right? But we definitely lost.
We did. We went down in the I think it was the 28th minute or so. It was the fourth time we actually were scored on first this season. I know for a fact that it was the first game, Verona, the game that we were watching with at Niz's house. And then it was obviously yesterday, the Bologna game and the Lazio match. We were down 1-0 for those three. One more, I want to say, was it Milan? Did we go down first to Milan, or did we score?
I think we did go down first.
Either way, it was the fourth time that we were down a goal to start the match, and hey, all four times we come away with the 3. So 12 points out of 12 after going down first. So that's a big statement, compared to last season, man. I mean, like, we'll get into it, Ralph. Yesterday's game was definitely one of those where last season we're not coming away with all 3. That's for sure.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, especially the former coach being the current Bologna coach being the former Spezia coach, right?
Right. He got the results against us last year at the San Paolo, or at the Maradona. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I still wasn't like that worried. I mean, Bologna has been in terrible form. I think they're bottom of the table, right? And considering all that Napoli's done, I know past, feelings of the team, what it does for us and all the post-traumatic stress, but I have to give credit. You know what it is, Rafa? Like at the beginning of the season, I was like, I'm wiping the slate clean. No big expectations, no big worries. I just want to see what happens. So I'm in that mood. I'm not going to hold prior seasons against Napoli this season. I think this is a reset. This is a new team. This is a new mentality.
Yeah,
more depth. It's almost completely different. It's like a whole new moment, a whole new atmosphere, and I want to give that the benefit of the doubt. And so, not to sound too cocky, but I wasn't too worried about Bologna, I'm not like surprised if they're gonna put a goal on us or any team's gonna put. That's fine, but I am like kind of used to seeing the bench come in and finish the game and maybe get some goals back, or Spalletti does his plan B, and we saw it again. I mean, we saw it again. He literally put Osimhen, and we'll talk about the striker situation in the main rant today, but putting in that B team, watching Lozano score, and then Osimhen. I mean, it's literally the second squad came in and won the game, and this has been kind of the story of the season, hasn't it, Rafa?
Yeah, it has, and Bologna is a very tough team, no matter who's managing them. They've been a tough team for a while. You got some exciting, good players. Arnautovic was missing yesterday on injury. And that was some sort of I don't want to say it led to Bologna not being as much of a worry as, we thought that they would be. Arnautovic is a really good goal scorer, and he's dangerous if you give him some space and good balls, but him not being in the lineup actually sort of eased my expectations for this game. It was like made it a little bit easier for me to expect a win going in. But then, listen, we came out, we looked a little rattled. We started with Ndombele instead of Anguissa because he's got that injury for a couple of days. It was a little bit of a different feel, in that midfield. But he's working his way up to 90 minutes now, and he did a pretty good job covering. And overall, I really like the team's never say die. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The options we have on the bench are plenty, and we used it yesterday and got the win like that. Again, Bologna is a tough team. They haven't been getting results, but they're still a tough team to play against. One of the tougher teams in the league. So yeah, coming away with the points was big. I mean, like you said, not worried, but still, you never know where the bananas peel will come, where we slip. It's gonna happen. It's going to, guys. This is the 10th win in a row in all competitions, right?
This is why.
Giannucci says the continued story of moving as a group, then just hoping for individual brilliance. Exactly. And like I said, there's going to be that banana peel where we slip and, maybe lose one, maybe draw one. Don't get so bent out of shape. If it happens, it's going to happen. It happens to very select few teams go unbeaten all season. So we're only 10 games in. It might happen. But, yesterday could have been the day. We give up the goal to the kid who's actually came in for Arnautovic. Can't even remember what his name was. He's the kid from the Bundesliga. He's on loan from, I think, Bayern Munich. I'm not sure 100%. But, we get the equalizer with Juan Jesus. I think Biz is taking a break. He's not. He's with us. But yeah, we get the goal back from Juan Jesus. It's funny because some say Juan Jesus led to the goal scored against us. I think it was a collection of Juan Jesus and Kim both kind of leaving them alone. Thinking underestimating that this new kid who isn't proven. It was his first start, it's his first goal. But he's a pretty decent talent. But then Juan Jesus gets it back on a set piece we're set piece masters all of a sudden. We're scoring. I think we lead the league in set piece goals. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. I saw that somewhere. And then first half is over, 1-1. That was pretty much the end of the first half. Second half, we change out Raspadori for Osimhen, and we take Politano out for Lozano. And I called it, you guys at the club. I yelled it out, "Meet the Lozano," right? Didn't I? And what happened? He comes in, and boom, 3 minutes later, again, making an instant impact. I mean, Lozano, that's his third goal in 3 games now. He scored against Cremonese. He scored the opener against Ajax at Maradona, and then he just scored, the go-ahead 2-1. Gave up the goal for 2-2. Big-time Meret blunder. We'll talk about that later. But we were able to, through Kvicha Kvaratskhelia brilliance, find Osimhen for the match winner, and and that was it. We had to hold them, and we did. We were successful, and 3 points. It was hard. We suffered a little bit, but we got the 3. Keep pace for first place, and it's a battle between us and Atalanta now. Lazio tied with Udinese. That was massive. And Milan were about 10 minutes away from a draw themselves. They struggled to beat Verona, but they did. But listen, it's looking good for us. Let's continue. Let's
full disclosure. I went to fill up my espresso cup in the middle of. Sorry,
we all heard you yell. We're not. I'm not.
Yeah, well, the coffee machine is right around my little studio here, but
we lost Biz. He's taking a break. No, I'm not.
I was taking my union break. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm fine. Anyway, guys, Luigi, I love pessimism here. I am pessimistic. They're going to use old methods to stop us. I hope to be wrong. Is this who? The refs? Because I heard somebody talking about the refs.
I'm pessimistic. I'm sorry. I had a brain fart for just a moment. What was that? I'm pessimistic they're going to use old methods to stop us. Oh yeah, I think he's
like the refs and shit.
Talking about Orzato and company. Yeah, that's what he just said. Orzato and company.
We'll see. I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead. I mean, for Rome, like Rome is right now for me, because Mourinho kind of got Spalletti's number. If there's any time that maybe we'll get a draw or drop some points, I think it'll be now. But who knows? Again, I want to be more confident in the team, especially after what we saw. We went down. Listen, Bologna game. First of all, Raspadori has been amazing for us. He's been playing a lot of minutes. He gives me those Merten vibes. All right, maybe not the Napolitan. Napolitan love of Mertens, but certainly as a ball player, he gives me those vibes, and it's great to see him on the field. I love that he goes up to everybody who takes a shot, says good shot, or if they not just when they score, but even when they don't score or they have a good opportunity, you see the guys kind of going up each other and dapping each other up and giving each other props. I love to see that. I like how Spalletti, even in his post-game interviews, are saying how everybody's important to the team. It doesn't matter who starts or who doesn't. He has a great group of guys that, depending on what he's going to need for a certain game, he can make a choice. Do we need more speed? Do we need more strength? He has that ability now, and I think this is the biggest difference that we're seeing with Napoli. It's who we have and what we can do. We're no longer relying on one or two or three piece people in the middle of the field or like in each part of the field to produce a win. We have a whole team now that can produce something. We now, with Juan Jesus, have 15 goal scorers in all competition. I mean, impressive. I don't remember when we saw a thing like this. Honestly, we used to maybe 7 or 8, but 15. I mean, goals can come from anywhere. We got right backs assisting left backs. We got center backs, just scoring in little tap-ins. I mean, it's just great to see. I will admit I see a little fatigue in general, or like overall amongst the team. I saw it maybe more so against Cremonese than I did Bologna. I think it's good that we'll have this week off going into Roma. I want our guys to get. Our guys need it, man. And I'm sorry, but if we're going to play these lineups the way we're playing, then I would like a little bit of rest for those starters then, because we already lost Rahmani right after we lost Anguissa, and I don't want to lose anybody else. I think if we can go into the break more or less like the way we are now, I take that. I'll take it. You know what I mean? Nothing more, nothing less. Just give me that, and I'll be a happy camper. Speaking of Ciao, Christopher. Speaking
it
of,
it was actually Sal De Brita earlier. I don't know if you put it up. Who said it's a shame Napoli won't be playing midweek. It sucks. I'll miss them, but you know what? I'm okay with it. Trust me. We can watch it. What's up, Gilly Bop? How you doing? Ciao. But yeah, we need this break. We absolutely need this break. No questions about it. I mean, we have Coppa Italia this week. Let that get taken care of. We need the rest, and you know what? Rest. It's very important, especially that we're going up against Roma. Listen, say what you will about their position on the table, how they're getting their wins, the droughts in the goals, how they're getting their goals, whatever. Say what you want, but Roma is always going to be a tough team. We're going to the Olimpico. It's always a tough place. We had a tough time against Lazio there. I would be really happy with a draw. I would be satisfied with a draw as long as like Atalanta lose this weekend. But I mean, you got to go after the 3 points. So think about it like this: there's a possibility Anguissa make it back for that game, maybe not. But it gives the squad much more of a rest. They get a day off. I don't know if they had a day off today or not. Someone could probably confirm with me. They kept up on the Twitter, account or whatever, the Napoli Twitter account. But I'm pretty sure with this big break, they were able to take a day off. Maybe give them 2. Screw it. Get them back out there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday. The game's Sunday, right? This is Sunday at 2:45.
Sunday 2:45. Ralph.
Give them another day off.
I would give them a day off.
Right? They got a day off today. Day off tomorrow. Get back out there Wednesday. You had 5 days to train before the game. Why not? Because then after that, you got Rangers. Go ahead.
Somebody said it. Somebody said it. It's just having no game in the middle of the week leading up to Rome is perfect.
Perfect.
Somebody said, I put it up. You know who you are.
You can't ask for a better situation. That's a tough. It's a tough team. It's a tough team.
It is tough, and I think listen, Lobotka has got somebody
else. I'm sorry, somebody else put up here too. We're gonna eat that defense alive. Kvaratskhelia is gonna kill that defense, man.
I think was that Gaetano.
It might have been Gaetano. What sucks is that I have two out of 3 of my defenders on my fantasy Roma guys because Rahmani got hurt. They got Ibanez and Mancini. Kvaratskhelia is gonna kill those guys. Kvaratskhelia yesterday. We got to get to this because I don't remember. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But I mean, he's just the whole team yesterday really was great, but he's just something else, right?
Sorry, there was a bot in our chat, Rafa. This is one of those sex bots.
Was it a porn bot? I knew it.
That's funny. That's great. We must be doing well for getting porn bots in the chat. It's like, Fran, what did you do? Fran had his other profile on.
Oh no.
Oh,
Francesco, what did we tell you about that?
Hey, you. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No.
That's so fun. That was the first time it happened. So, I mean, I take that as a positive sign, by the way. So bring on the Russian sex bots. Go ahead. That means we're doing good. But, Rafa, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, man. It's funny. Sal says, to be fair, To be fair, Kvara highlights can definitely be labeled as NSFW.
Oh yeah,
not safe for work.
No,
Who's Fran? You're doing laundry. He goes, I'm doing laundry. I swear I'm innocent. I was doing laundry too. I just finished my laundry before I came on. That's what made me run a little bit late. Sorry, Ralph.
No.
Take care of that. The 6 is in the house. What's up, guys? Hey, what was I going to say? I've been invited on, you remember Wayne from Roma, right? Wayne in Rome. He and I are going to sit down and have a Napoli deep dive on his platform. So check that out.
Oh, yeah. Awesome, man.
Wednesday around 8 or 9, we're going to record. I think he's going to put it up right away, but yeah, look for it. We're going to do a Napoli deep dive on Wayne's YouTube. Don't remember what it's called, but yeah, check that out.
That's awesome. Soon. Paying back the favor. Wayne in Rome was a guest here on the Napoli Rant.
He was a guest here.
I believe it was after a Roma game as well, too, if I'm not mistaken. So you should be able to find that. But overall, guys, good game. Listen, they're not all going to be pretty, these games, right? I think we got slightly spoiled at these big high-scoring games and what have you. But, you know, the fatigue will set in. And again, like, I don't want to get too much into that yet because it is one of our segments. I want to talk about it in depth there. But I do want to cover a few other people. We saw Ndombele starting the game today for Anguissa since he's injured. He's no Anguissa. I was, for sure, but I thought he did a pretty decent job. He's still a rough, tough guy. He can carry the ball. He could shake off defenders. Does he have the same ethic as Zambo Anguissa? I don't think so. But at the same time, Anguissa's already had a year kind of under his belt with Napoli. He's a little bit more confident. He's a little bit more comfortable. He's evolved as a player so much. I mean, you could even see Lobotka as well. Like, even though he was great last season, it's almost as if he's even better this season. The same goes for Frank. Zambo kind of slowly climbing his way up to the form that we need him at. Spalletti giving him the trust, giving him the time, allowing him to go out there, building his kind of form to get to those 90 minutes. And for the most part, he's doing a pretty good job. You know what I mean? He is trying. I'd like to see him try a little harder at times on backtracking and stuff, because that's a big thing that we missed with Zambo, was for his coverage when Di Lorenzo is way up front. But the good news is I feel like Di Lorenzo has been playing a little bit better over the past couple games. Like, I think I don't know if it was ever since that header that he had, that goal or what have you, he's improving. I don't want to say he's improving. I don't think that's the wrong word. I'm just like, he's getting back to what he was a little bit, because it's a little underwhelming in the first opening games, Rafa. I don't know. Have you seen any bit of a difference there?
Yes, I have. It looks like he's getting up there a lot more. He's getting more forward, crisper passes, a little better vision, taking some shots too. He had a nice shot saved, stung keeper's palms. I forgot who the keeper is for them. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah, I do. And then touching back on Ndombele really quick, I said it yesterday at the meet. I was talking to Gianluca. I said something is missing in this midfield. Not that Ndombele played bad. I thought he played really, really well. Really well. And I feel like every game he's getting better and better, and he's getting more minutes under his belt. He's staying out there a little longer. But by the end of his tenure, he got subbed out for Elmas. He looked a little gassed, and yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, obviously the midfield's better with Anguissa in it. But Ndombele does offer some something a little extra, and I think he's got a good work rate. I think people label him as lazy, and listen, laziness can come in form of anything, right? Look at Lozano before Gattuso got a hold of him. You know what I mean? Or his first year Gattuso. Look at Lobotka with Gattuso, and sometimes when you're not happy and there's stuff going on in your life situations, obviously in Ndombele, it's like, listen, Player of the Year, Champions League 2018-19 with Lyon, right? He was in Champions League 11 is what I meant to say. He was in all Champions League 11 in 2017-18. Guy got sold to Tottenham for $70 million some odd dollars, right? And he was kind of frozen out of the squad. So maybe, it could have been something they saw in training, or it could have been just something else, maybe he just needed something else. You're going to go from Lyon, France to Tottenham, wherever the fuck they play in Tottenham. Where do they play? London? I don't know where they play. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But sometimes you just need the right situation. And I think Ndombele is there, I think he's playing a lot better. Like I said, more and more. Don't forget, he was brought in here late, so you had to integrate late. So he's catching up to the rest of the squad, and I think he played pretty well. I want to tip my cap to him. Another player who played really well yesterday, Zielinski. Zielinski, of course, plays
Great
well
game.
all the time.
Great
I
game.
mean,
he was my nomination, I believe.
He was, yeah, he was, and I he hasn't had a beast yet. But he could have had the shout, I think. But yeah, I mean, for one of the best midfielders in Serie A to say that yesterday's game was pretty standout says a lot about about Zielinski. Just that he has a lot of really like leadership. Like he won duels, he won balls back, he took shots, he found passes. Like he did really well yesterday, especially. I think that's what I'm trying to say is that he's already one of the best midfielders in Serie A, but yesterday he had this extra something, I think, maybe the whole team recognized we got to step it up a little bit without Anguissa here because, we're missing that like extra oomph in the squad.
Agreed. But at least we can kind of get like almost like a poor man's version of him. So I'll take it. We have Lobotka there. He's been a great quarterback for the team. I mean, his holding of the ball, his distribution. I mean, and you could tell he had to do a little bit extra work on defense for this game. That's where I think we miss Zambo a little bit. But all in all, it worked out. Zielinski was there. He's been reliable all season so far. So is Lobotka. So, having a third of that midfield gone isn't detrimental. You know what I mean? It's still functional. And what I'm most excited about is our attack now with Victor in. So it feels like these goals can come from any one of these guys up front, whether it be Lozano, Politano. Politano had a sitter yesterday that, I mean, I'm just like I like Politano. I think he's a hard worker and all, but man,
Raspadori did too.
You got to hit the net, bro. Yeah, but Raspadori, I'll give him a pass because for the most part, he'll hit the net. So he has one. We had a few hashtag Legnonapolis yesterday, Ralph. I believe like 2 or 3.
We did. Mario Rui almost got his first goal. But listen, you know what the common denominator is, and I don't know if you're ready to go here. There was a common denominator to all of that, right? Wasn't there?
I think so.
So you have Mario Rui's ball that hit the post. You have Zielinski's ball that hit the post. You have Raspadori's ball early in the match that he missed centimeters wide. You had Politano's sitter, right? What was the common denominator?
Well, I think that common denominator was the beast of the match, guys. And I want you to tell us who your beast of the match was because we're going to show you ours right now. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here he is, guys. The common denominator, the beast of the match. 2 in a row now? No.
2 in a row.
He got
2 in a row. He got the Champions League beast against Ajax at home. He also received the player of the match there. He received Foot Mob's man of the match for yesterday, but we had to give it to him. Yo, listen.
Who said that? Was that?
No, that's an old song, man. When Maradona was out, Maradona.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh man. Listen, this guy. Okay, I don't remember since Diego Maradona seeing a player that knows what to do with the ball more than Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. At first, when he came to Napoli and he was playing in those, the friendlies, the preseason friendlies and the exhibitions, the first couple games, I really feel like even though he was named player of the month in August and he made instant impact, I found that he had a lot of issues getting rid of the ball, right?
Yes.
And
I'm glad you brought this up, Rafa.
Spalletti brought that up in public. And ever since then, this guy has been finding passes like he just added this. It seems like he added this element to his already stellar game. And he is now unbelievably, unequivocally like the second coming of Maradona. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. The balls he serves to our players are Maradona-esque. They are. Okay, let's look at it. Like we just mentioned, the ball to Raspadori early that missed centimeters wide. The ball to Politano. The ball to Zielinski that hit the post. The ball to freaking Mario Rui, right? The pass, the assist to Osimhen for the match winner, right? The shot he took that was parried off the keeper that provided Lozano with the second goal. You know what I mean? The move he made on the left when he took the shot in the first half. I don't remember a better game from Kvaratskhelia this season yet. And I think this was his best game. And I think because of the fact that he was everywhere and did all that stuff, for me, that warranted a beast of the match.
Yeah.
I had Lozano, I had Kim, because I think Kim had a really good game too. Not a lot of people are going to talk about the defense because we gave up the 2 goals. But I think Kim had a pretty good game, standout game. I think Juan Jesus did really well in place of Rahmani, got the goal. But I think Kvaratskhelia was out and out the best player and the beast. I mean, just a magical performance from him yesterday. Magical.
I'm with you, Rafa, on all of that. Lozano got a good nod today too. I think Lozano, he's 3 for 3 now. Coming off the bench, he's been instrumental. He's
3 for 3 and 3 for 3, and in all 3 of those games, at least the 2. I'm not sure, man. No. In all 3 of those games, he could have scored 2 goals. Lozano,
yeah,
Lozano had an ability. Lozano could easily
from
have
Simeone
6 goals in 3 games. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing. And well, not to get off track, but the fact is that Kvara, somebody. Oh, by the way, thank you. There was a few people who had commented on the last piece of the match. I think when we picked Zombo, and they kind of make a case for Kvara. Thank you for commenting. We appreciate it because we want to engage and we want to respond to these things. But here it is for you. Beast of the match, Kvara. Understand that, especially for our new viewers, when we do beast is somebody that may not get on the stat sheet per se. He may not have a goal. He may not have something, but Kvara. But once you do get a beast award, that means our eyes are on you all the time. You're practically always a beast, practically. But it really comes down to who did what that game to change something up, or to have a huge impact. And Kvara consistently is an impact on the team. But in this case, even more so because he could have had at least 2-3 assists easily, maybe a goal or 2. And his contribution on defense has been huge. So I would definitely say between what he's been doing on defense lately, tracking back and helping out, even in the middle of the field or even to the right side of the field, you'll see him sometime. Between that and his vision lately with giving up, that he's definitely quicker in the box. If he can't get around the player, if he doesn't do that little like drop that Patrick Kendrick says, like he'll give up the ball quicker and he'll set up a chance. That is what's gonna take Kvara to the next level. His ability to get not only himself in a position, but also open up the chances for his teammates. That is what's gonna make this kid really, really great. And now that we're starting to see that, I'll believe a little bit more on what his ability is and what he could potentially be in the future for this team or for his career in general. So there you have it, guys. Match day 10. Beast in the match, Kvara.
My favorite Kvara, but then we'll move on. But my favorite Kvara pass yesterday, what didn't even lead to a goal. It was the pass to Zielinski where he hit the crossbar. What a touch! And he had two defenders coming at him like this, and as they were coming at him like this, he found that it was like a paper thin, hole that he found to get the ball right to freaking Zielinski's legs to get him that shot. What a perfect pass! Like it just. Another one was the one where he served up Raspadori and he missed the ball that he took. Like he one-timed a pass from Lobotka in a straight line. Like it was he kept it in a straight line. He just hit that touch to like sort of like carom it, like sort of like if you ever play Sonic and you get Sonic to that like little like spot where there's the rotating bars and you get Sonic through it and he pings out.
Yeah, that
like
right.
The ball went straight to Kvara and he kept it going straight. Like he just kind of extended the pass from Lobotka to Raspadori, and Raspadori came this close to getting the first goal. When he touches the ball and then the movement after he touches, like I can't even wrap my head around it. It's like
beast of the match. There we have it. Beast. But speaking of beast, we got the opposite, the least of the match, quite possibly. We're naming this one Manacho Meret.
The least of the match.
Yeah. So I had to say it. No, look, listen, I'm sorry, Alex, if you're listening to this, but it was one of those games. It was one of those games that I think most of us were waiting for. I don't know. We're clearly talking about a shot that comes in, and it was a bouncing ball kind of right in front. And I think Meret attempted to grab the ball or try to, hold it so there was no rebound. But because of that, he mishandled it. It went right under him, and they scored. Even Patrick Kendrick was calling the game, but his assistant, the co-caller.
Yeah, was that Massimo yesterday?
Might have been. I forgot. Big time accident might have been. But either way, he was saying how like that was definitely that it should have been a slap out of bounds to get the corner kick, but he didn't play it that way. So it's not. I don't think. I mean that was purely came down to save selection. Meret had the wrong selection, and he paid the price. There was a flimsy little corner kick. Spectator Empoli from L. That was so deep. Patrick Kendrick been deep lately with the man.
No, he pissed Gianluca off. Gianluca was like, come on, Patrick, shut the hell up. I said, yo, man, leave Patrick Kendrick alone. That's the man. He's telling a story. You know what I mean? Gianluca's I think you're watching Gianluca. He's the best in the business. He has to bring up all the facts, brother. He has to.
He has to. No, he tells the
he tells the truth. He tells the truth.
The truth hurts sometimes,
It does. It does. But yeah, man, Meret, listen, I don't know if you're finished on Meret with your take, but honestly, I listen, for me, you take one step, to your left and you got that ball all day. You know, if you're one step more I just don't think he was in the right position. And then also, like, yeah, it's exactly what Patrick's co-commentator said yesterday. His hands weren't out enough. It's like he second guessed himself when he was going out there.
Looked like a T-Rex trying to.
Yeah. So, honestly, listen, it was a howler. We went back level with the goal. It was only like 2 minutes after the goal that got us ahead. It was really frustrating, right? But the difference between that and something like that last season is that we don't rebound from that last season or season prior. You know, we just don't. And the mentality of this team has shifted so much that we didn't let it get to us, and the whole team just kept going. Aside from that shot, Bologna had 0 in the second half. 0. They had no real threat. They had a couple of chances, couple of occasions down on that side, but no real threat. So I don't like, and listen, here's the deal, okay? Dad and I were on our way back to my parents' house after the meet. We threw on Radio Kiss Kiss with Paolo Del Genio and I think it was Alessandra, right? And all they were doing were they were reading texts in and taking phone calls, and a lot of it was Meret hate, like, this is why we needed Keylor Navas. This is Kepa. We should have had Kepa. This wouldn't have happened with this guy. We knew he was a liability. I don't feel comfortable. Blah blah blah. And listen, I was just starting to get to where I'm comfortable with Meret being in that net, right, and minding the net for us on a full-time basis, and then something like that happens. But I gotta say, we need to back off and leave him alone. Like, I was the number one advocate to have Meret physically removed from the Konami Training Center. I was first in line to be like, get this guy out of my club. I said those exact words, get this guy out of my club. But you know what? We have to give him the benefit of the doubt. He has been stellar this season. Stellar. That is the first goal that we've given up that was literally his fault. There might have been one other goal where, you know what, he could have had that one. He didn't, whatever. But that one was a howler, yes. But guess what? It was number 1 in 10 games, right? The Meret I thought we were getting was going to give up a howler every 3 games. You know what I'm saying? And he's been superb. He's been superb. So we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't want us, listen, when one player has a bad game, we're going to crucify everybody? No. Listen, it happened. We got it back. We won the game. Move on. Because he's been, especially in the Champions League, he's been absolutely phenomenal. So let's just let's let him have that one. You know what I'm saying? Let's let him have that one. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes a howler. The best players have done it.
Ralph, I feel like, if somebody was saying it like between like Chucky and Meret, I feel like Meret. I feel like people are kind of like on their couch watching these games, with some type of comment, already set, ready to be copy and pasted, ready to go against this guy. I'm like, told you so. Now, are we justified? But hold on, are we justified in feeling this way because of what happened in the past? And do they have something to prove? That's kind of like my question, because I understand why people are on edge about them. And as soon as something happens, they're ready to jump. Is it fair, or is it kind of slightly warranted and they still kind of need to prove themselves? I mean, I was going back and forth in the Discord earlier with Daniel and Jen and the gang. Even Peter was there. And it kind of comes down to them saying that I don't want to not like the guy, but he still has to kind of prove it to me. I mean, how many more games, how many more what else does he have to do to kind of win the confidence of the fans again? And so when he does make those mistakes, people are like, all right, let's back off, forgive him. It was just a mistake. Do you think it's already time now? Or do you think, like, is there something else? Maybe by, this last stretch of games leading into the World Cup, like, what more does he need to do to get a little bit of leeway, a little bit of space? Because to me, this goes back to what I was saying. This goes back to what I was saying about fatigue. There is mental fatigue. There's not just physical fatigue. I think Meret should have gotten a break one of these past 2 games, either it be Bologna at home. Sirigu could have played in front of the home crowd. Let him get some time. Let Meret cheer him on. Maybe it'll do him some good, or even Cremonese. Thank you, Phil, up in Minnesota. Holla. Or could he have gotten a break in Cremonese? So Meret is obviously feeling this pressure, and I think he's handled it well up until this point. I just think he's a little tired out there, just like the rest of the guys. There's a little bit of fatigue setting in. All right. Maybe this week will do him some good. They have a full week, and we all see what a rested Napoli can do. But just because he's a goalie doesn't mean he's not going to get tired. There's the mental aspect of the game as well. And I want to see Sirigu come in, but I don't want to see him against Roma now. I don't want Spalletti to react to this and like, oh, you screwed up. We can't have this. We're not going into Roma with you. I'm going to call Sirigu, because that's just going to hurt his confidence even more. This is why you need to make a change. Now Spalletti is pot committed. This is the last thing we needed, is Meret's confidence even slightly tattered, or any doubt in his mind going up against Roma in Rome. I'm not comfortable with that 100%. Not because of Meret, but just because of the whole situation in general. Like, I felt like something could have been done to prevent this.
You can't react now. You have to move forward. Meret is our number 1, and we're playing Roma. That's got to be. Okay? We need a draw against Rangers, right? If maybe we're up like 2-3-0 to Rangers in the first half, or in like the 60th, 70th minute, maybe it's a good idea to sub Sirigu in, and even better for the Champions League, the last match at Anfield, 1 point against Rangers wins the group, which would render the game against Liverpool, match day 6, pretty much an exhibition. Right? Put Sirigu in, should Sirigu have had a start? No, I disagree. Here's why. Because you are building a confident Meret, right? You're building a starter, a concrete number 1 starter from a guy who was not the starter. Like, every season he was intended. Okay, every manager intended on having this guy be the starter of the team, and something happened to where it was either an injury or a blunder or whatever. Most likely injuries, where Ospina had to come in and take care of things and sweep it up, and then he became our number 1. Right? We don't have that anymore. Now Meret is the guy. You have to build him as that guy. You don't just take him out in the first 10 games, within the first 10 games, just for the sake of giving Sirigu minutes. Sirigu knows what he's doing there. He knew the role he accepted. Is an understudy to Meret, and is that the right word? Understudy? Because an understudy would be someone who's learning, right? No. So he's the guy to sort of, he's the
keep him under his wing,
experience.
Right?
Yes. He's the experience for Meret to turn to, right? If he needed him, correct?
Right.
And I think it would have been wrong to give Sirigu a start in between this, because we're, like I said, building this guy's confidence. Now, we spoke about the blunder and his confidence there, and the fact that he may be fatigued, this and that. They all might be very fine and well, but guess who's not going to the World Cup in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever it is, a month?
Italy.
Meret's not going to the World Cup. He's going to have a lot of breaks. He's going to have a big break. This save, the blunder from yesterday, the team picked him up and tapped him on the shoulder, man. It was like, hey, we got this. Don't worry about it. Let it go. Let it go. Whereas last year, it was like arms in the air, head down, sluggish play. Look what we did. We came right back to him, and we could have scored 4 more goals. You know what I mean?
Imagine
and
that.
so Meret too. Meret even was like, okay, like after the blunder, you know, it was hurting him. I saw him go like this. Let's go. Forget that. Let's go. You know, my fault. Let's go. That's what I love about this team is that they're not giving up for nothing. Nothing. And yeah, they're going to get fatigued as the year goes on, man. Listen, if we keep going and going and going, it's going to be a little difficult. It will. But I feel like building his confidence and using Sirigu for the games that don't really matter that much or Coppa Italia is where we have to go. We have to play Meret every time. Unless he gets an injury, unless he asks for a day off. Listen, hey, coach, give me a day off. I got you. Sirigu goes in. You know what I mean? Yeah, and Patrick Kendrick is going to bring Empoli up because, listen, we lost the Scudetto. There's a difference. This is Bologna in match 10. That was the Scudetto, man. We official. Well, not it wasn't official, but we effectively ended our Scudetto run by losing to Empoli, and that was all Meret's fault. And yeah, of course you're going to bring that up after the first blunder, but now we got to get over it. Bring it. That's it. It happened. Go from here.
There it is. Speaking of drama, Rafa, I'm gonna throw in a quick
do it.
A quick comment here because a lot of people ask me about this because clearly they know that I do have a son on the team. He's Macedonian, and you know, aside from the drama with Meret and the fans, Elmas drama with our boy Alif. He recently put out a I guess an Instagram post saying, "Oh, here my first love or my favorite love, the bench." Which is kind of funny, to be honest.
It's very funny. You know what would have been funnier? Is if he is
hi, Dad, I love you. No,
and if he put an elf on the shelf on that bench, you know, because he's Elif. He's
elf on the shelf. Right? Oh man!
If he put an elf on a shelf with a Napoli kit on that bench, that would have been too funny. Someone's got to do that. Someone's got to TikTok that. Like, throw a Napoli jersey on an elf on a shelf. Put him on the bench.
Number up there. See how he feels.
Elmas chilling on the bench
with a little Macedonian flag. or like put like Elmas heart bench
look at
in
this.
Marker on the bench.
This is la 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 Elmas world. Oh my gosh. He's acting like a baby, isn't he? He's acting like a baby. Yeah.
I'm just gonna bust his balls. I have nothing else to say. It's just like that.
The message. You saw the messages, right? From who was it? It was someone on Twitter. It was Napoli out of context on Twitter. Did you see that?
Yo, I don't know. Was that even real? Like I didn't even believe it that was a real conversation. Elmas got triggered by that one, man.
Apparently, Elmas, Gianluca tells me, or who was that? I think it was Gianluca. He people have been responding. Like he's been responding to people. He has.
Maybe we should hit him up.
Yeah, maybe we should, but not in a positive way.
Don't worry about it, Papa. Papa's here. Don't worry. Play your best.
Daddy Biz.
Daddy Biz is here.
Daddy Bizarrov. Well, listen, he got some minutes yesterday, right? Was that a cry for help or something? Like, was that his way of saying, yo, Spalletti, listen, I'm here.
Spalletti's doing a great job, but I don't think, he's not going to get it all down packed. And Leonardo said, I'll just put it back up. Leonardo says here, Elmas has to understand the quality that's in front of him.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Now,
it's true.
I guess I'll just talk about this real quick since I've been one of his biggest defenders. Like last season, he was a great utility player for us. I mean, considering the amount of injuries that Napoli faced last year, Elmas, without complaint with a smile on his face, covered any position he was asked to cover, and I thought he was great for that. But I think it may be when you look at it, it made his maybe it made his play cover.
Wait a minute. I gotta stop you, because Pasquale Napolitano just uncovered ADL's brand new Christmas title,
Dun, dun, dun.
Natale a Panchino, starring Elif Elmas.
You're gonna see Santa Claus next to him, like,
this is ADL's new movie. It's coming out. It's confirmed.
It's coming out,
Natale
guys.
a Panchino.
Get your tickets early, all right? You get use
that's
hashtag Napoli Rant for a 10% discount on and a free bag of popcorn at the movie theater.
Popcorn.
But listen, what I was trying to get popcorn. What I was trying to get at was that, considering that he didn't really get to kind of solidify himself in a position last season, that maybe maybe he's suffering from it this season.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some people don't like him on the wing, some people want him on the wing, some people want him in mid, some people, I don't know, he's not that good in mid. Either way, I think he's having a hard time kind of finding himself. He needs to find himself. He needs to say, okay, this is what I can do. Maybe a goal, maybe an assist, something to boost his confidence back up and get the faith. Listen, Spalletti has been using him. I mean, we still got Gaetano. He's only had a few minutes on the bench, but Elmas got more time than him. You still got well, all right, Deme just got back from injury. He got a few minutes. So maybe Elmas expected a bigger role, but nobody could have predicted Cavada coming onto this team and doing what he's doing. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. So Elmas, figlio mio, pump the brakes. Con calma. Don't worry. We are still needed on this team. You're still a player on this team. Stai calma. But when you do get on the pitch, show them what you're worth. That's all I'm going to say. Get better. None of that shit. Don't ruin a good thing. Because if this team does win something, all right, God willing they do, you're on this roster. You will never be forgotten. So just go along for the ride.
Absolutely.
But speaking of rides, we are on a good ride, Rafa, this season. And, with Victor getting hurt, it kind of opened up some space for Raspadori to kind of come in and find his form, and he did, and he's been doing excellent. With Simeone coming off the bench to kind of seal the deal for us as this super sub, and now Victor coming back, and we're all thinking, where is he going to be? It just seems like that we have three's company right now, and maybe this is a good thing. And I think after yesterday's game, seeing what Victor could do, and you had Raspa, and even though Raspa didn't get a lot of stats in the first, he still did a lot for the team. Again, he's creative. He sets up that play. Like I said before, he reminds me of Mertens, Raspa, a whole lot, and he can bring that to the team. But when the team needs speed, a little edge, a little attitude, Victor comes in the 45th minute. He gives them just that. And he bangs in a goal. He bangs in the winning goal, I believe. And we didn't even use Simeone for a minute, and we still turned out a result. And that's the crazy part, that Simeone was still fresh on the bench, ready to go, and could have probably gotten us a goal too. So here we go. Another good problem. Rafa, do you see any issues here? Do you predict any issues with any of this as far as these three strikers are concerned?
Well, it's a little concerning that Simeone didn't see 1 minute in the last two games. Like, that concerns me just a bit, because he's gotten some pretty big goals for us already.
Mm-hmm.
As far as issues, I mean, if it continues to where Simeone is not coming in, then yeah, it's a big issue. But okay. I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think for some, here's the thing, right? Raspadori starts, and if he comes out for Victor, you're not going to see Simeone. So we have to figure out a way to integrate Simeone into there too. I like how we came up with the moniker for this segment, Three's Company, because Three's Company is literally a TV show where two women were looking for a
A third, a roommate.
And they settled on a man named Jack. So it looks like Napoli has settled on Jack Raspadori to be the starter in this trio. And, it's pick your poison. Victor come in or, Giovanni comes in. The thing is that wouldn't it be nice if there was a way to figure out how to have Victor and one of the other two on at the same time without changing formations, because changing formations is not an option. You don't just, because you've got 3 world-class strikers on, almost world-class strikers. You don't just change the formation because, it's cool to have two goal scorers in. You have to figure out a way to get everybody integrated. Now, does that mean you, move Raspadori to the left, take Kvara out when he's tired, have Victor in or Giovanni in there in the front? Yeah, I could do that. But at the same time, if Kvaratskhelia is on and we need him, he's got to stay there. So if you were to take out Raspadori and want to put Simeone in but keep Victor in, why, in my opinion, can't we move Victor to behind Giovanni Simeone, right, in the sort of number 10 role, but revise the number 10 role to go a little more forward, but behind Simeone? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not for nothing, but Victor out on the wings, like he usually drifts away to, right? Now, this is assuming we change to a 4-2-3-1 if we need a goal. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is all situational, by the way, Ralph. You're not going to just start the game with a 4-2-3-1 with Victor behind Simeone. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is situationally, right? Like yesterday, Victor was already in. Raspadori was already out. Kvara's not coming out. We needed a goal. We got a goal. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a late game and you know what, we're down or it's tied and we really need these 3 points, maybe you put Victor behind Giovanni Simeone, right? And you have that duo. Because again, like I said, Victor is a striker. He's a versatile striker. Simeone is a poacher and a good one at that. Now, I'm not saying he can't play a forward role too, like hold the ball up, pass it, distribute it, move. I'm not saying he's done it. Do that.
Did it with Lozano.
He's done it. But his main focus is a striker, right? Mm-hmm. The Raspadori being a seconda punta is more of a natural role for him. But if there's a situation, like I mentioned, if you need to take Raspadori out and have 2 strikers available, why can't we put Victor behind Simeone so that this way Victor draws defenders to the wings like he normally does? You know how last year we all got, even sometimes this year, the ball comes up, Victor's got it, he's coming out to the wing, there's nobody in the middle, Victor's 1-on-2, he's trying to get past people, blah, 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 he tries to send the ball in, no one's there. But now Simeone is going to be there. You know what I mean? Like wide open. So Victor draws 2 defenders into the side, finds an open Kvaratskhelia or finds an open, Lozano or Politano and gets the ball to Simeone. I think that that's a really good idea. I don't know how everyone else feels. Maybe someone can debunk me. Maybe someone can have another idea without going to 2 strikers. But in my opinion, this three's company, the fact that there is a problem, and the problem is that we don't know who to put in where, just goes to show you that we've got 3 really good players at the same position. And no matter who you put in there, you can be confident enough in their abilities to get us a goal when we need it. Raspadori, Simeone, and Osimhen. Right. Again, like I said, it's concerning me just a bit that, I understand Victor's coming back from injury. I get it. He needs to get more matches. He hasn't started yet. He's coming, in the second half against Ajax, and then now in the halftime against Bologna. But I would have found a way to get Simeone into one of those 2 games. That's my only issue right now.
Ralph, I think maybe the lack of playing time for Simeone was because Spalletti was trying to get Osimhen back in the game, right? And to do that, like, listen, Raspadori has been hot. He's been in form. He's setting up again. He's bringing his creativity. He's bringing his goal scoring. You're not going to just take that off the field immediately. Granted, Simeone also off the bench has been great, has been closing these games. His personality, his energy, it's contagious, and it does great things. But here's the deal. We all said that everybody's playing for the team, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if Simeone is kind of making his own sacrifice here with minutes to allow Osimhen to get back in form. Because let's face it, Osimhen, he's the senior player on this team when it comes down to Raspa and Simeone. So he should get a little preference, which is something that I said when he got injured. When everybody was saying that, how's he going to get back into this team? He has to earn his spot. No, he doesn't. He earned his spot when he signed the contract and started for this team, or when he came back from that injury a season ago and scored 10 games in a row. That he earned it already. He just needs to, I guess, make his own sacrifice and find how he will integrate himself into the team if he's willing to accept this new philosophy of team ball. And I think it's happening. I mean, he's proved it already. He handed the ball to Cavada and said, "You're going to take this, number one." He's given dap to people who scored goals. He's trying to lay the ball off for assists, and he's coming to the game and he's scoring, and he's energetic and he's passionate. All good problems. I think, and I was reading an article that Nicky Bandini had written recently about this and about the depth and how is Spalletti going to choose, and Spalletti had said there's 3 different characters, and it's funny that Spalletti said this because I kind of mentioned in the Discord. I was like, there is no choice. There is no favorites. There is no earning. What's going to happen is Spalletti is going to say, who is the best for this game? Do we need speed? Do we need creativity? Do we need strength? All right. And he's going to be able to choose these players and put them in as he needs it. And you know what? They have to accept that. Just like Simeone probably accepted that. He didn't have a few minutes. He let Osimhen in. Osimhen scored his goals. Boom. The sacrifice worked. Osimhen is going to find himself in a position where he's going to have to do the same thing one day when he's going to have to let Raspadori play this game, or let Raspadori start, or he's not going to come off the bench. He's going to have a day off, and he's going to let Simeone come and close the game. And it might be in a Champions League game. Who knows? So I think it's going to be up to themselves and up to the coach to say, hey, who's the best for the job today? Who do we need to? Who's going to do for us today? That person's going to play, or that person's going to come in off the bench, and so be it. As long as the team gets the win, the team gets the win, because at the end of the day, it's about the team collectively winning. Because when we win to the Scudetto, or if we win any other trophies, the team's going to win, not the individual player at the end of it, especially this season. So I'm excited. I'll be honest. I'm excited. I am so, this is one problem. I'm so happy. I have been calling since the beginning of the show that Napoli had so many problems. After Higuain, we just had so many problems regarding strikers. Malik came in, he gets injured back-to-back. We lose that. Granted, Mertens's false 9 era was outstanding, but it just wasn't enough. He never had a proper backup. When Victor was here, Petagna, yes, had some game winners, late match winners, and he was a good dude, but let's keep it real. He just couldn't cut the mustard. It's not everything that we needed. Now we have what we needed, and we have an abundance of it. And not only that, but our wingers are producing this time. There's something that we didn't see last season. So overall, all our prayers have been answered. So what else do we want? We have the depth in striker. We got the wingers that we wanted. We cut the dead weight. We got the left back, the other left back that we needed. Our center backs are covered, even despite losing one of the franchise player or something like that. So, guys, we're good, and let them figure out how to run this. Let them figure out who's best for the job that day, who has the most energy. Maybe, Osimhen, he's feeling a little strain in his muscle that day. Why risk him? We got 2 other guys that can play. We can rest him, and he can come in a week later and then bang in another goal or 2. Who knows? Completely healthy. I rather the problem of deciding who's going to start than forcing somebody to start because one of them is injured. So whatever the case may be, we're in good position as far as strikers go.
And
as far as the whole attack.
Right. Fran and I posted this up a few minutes ago, but Fran says Osimhen's the starter. He's still coming back from injury, so that's why he hasn't started past the second half. And he will start versus Roma. I'd be shocked if he doesn't. That's what Fran's take is. And you can't really argue with that one either. The best scenario is Osimhen's a starter. If we need a sub, we put in Simeone. If we need someone on the left, we put in Raspadori for Kvaratskhelia if he needs to come in. If maybe something happens, we move him over to central. You know what I mean? If one of those 2 can't play, whatever. Either way, like you said, it's a great problem to have. It just is. Another funny thing I want to bring up is this is something that I had mentioned myself a couple times. I don't want to break the poetry, Luigi Della Vecchia says, but I think that Simeone and Raspadori are the preparation for the Victor departure. $sign. I said that, and I still kind of feel that way, even though today he came out and said that, an agent of his came out and said, no, he's happy. He wants to stay. He's involved with the project. He likes his teammates. He wants to stay. And then the last thing I want to say before we round up is I find it on? If you'd like to, yeah, let's go. Let's put some closing music on because this is gonna wrap it up. But I'd like to announce the official retirement. Higuain, you brought him up. You said since Higuain we've been struggling. It's funny that you mentioned Higuain because just moments ago, his Inter Miami FC were wiped out of the MLS playoffs by none other than the reigning champions, New York City FC, 3-0. Not even in the MLS could Higuain get the job done. To me, Higuain had nothing to do with the Juventus success. That was a machine that was going to roll on and on with him or without him. Overrated. Let's put this on.
Overrated.
Higuain couldn't even cut the mustard in the MLS. NYCFC wipes him out. Boom. Tip my cap to Gonzalo Higuain for being a miserable human being and not for being a great striker. For being a miserable human being. And Setantuno could ride off into the sunset, and he can go screw himself for all I care. So there you go.
Let's get a big Forza Napoli in the chat, guys. It was a great turnout tonight. We want to thank all our live viewers as well as our audio listeners. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and a share, guys. We're getting bigger, man. Yo, so many big things on the horizon. You don't even know. But me and Rafa are working it.
Yes, we are. Chris Estrada with the extremely late questions all the time. Chris, man, you got to ask these questions earlier. I will give it to you, though. Do you think we should at least get a backup right back? Don't want D'Lo to get a big injury when it could have been avoided. I mean, we have Zanoli. I don't know if we make any moves in the offseason.
I think they extended his contract, Zanoli, or they are in the... So
they did. Actually, you're right. They did. So for me, that's a no on that front. Or do you think we'll make any signings in January? He says, I doubt. I mean, listen, you don't mess with the team chemistry. Right now, everybody's playing super together. And this is a tight-knit group. Like, even that issue that we had with Lozano being upset at the Milan game, right? The guy gets the match winner late for Mexico in those friendlies and comes back to Napoli and is absolutely killing it right now. So, no, I don't think you make any changes if things are going the right way. Like, we're already deep enough. You know, usually making changes in January is conducive to us having an issue or a hole somewhere. And listen, we might say the right back might be a position where we need to fill, but you know what? I'm not too worried about it. I'm not.
There you have it. There you have it, Chris. See, get your own personal answer here. Look at that. But thank you for the questions. We always enjoy them. And thank you to everybody who's commenting on our videos, man. It's great. Give us more of that so we can respond to those things. Come in our Discord. I already put this one up, but you can put it again. That's all right.
I would like show Chris Estrada some love. Why
not? But yeah, coming to the Discord has been a lot of fun. The watch parties have been great. All the participation, and for all the people who stuck around to the last minute live, guess what? Next week, Patrick Kendrick will be calling the Napoli-Roma game, and guess what? He has agreed because it's been really hard for us.
This is unprecedented, guys. Unprecedented.
Yeah. He has agreed to choose our beast of the match for the Napoli-Roma game. I asked him, win, lose, or draw, if he would do the honor of choosing our coveted beast of the match for the Napoli-Roma game. So we're going to do that. It's cool. I'm going to make a little custom card for it. It's going to be the Patrick Kendrick edition. Awesome. I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to hear from him. I cannot wait. Either. I don't think he'll call it on TV or anything like that. He'll probably, tell us in private. So
how nuts would that be if he was like,
I cannot wait.
Well, Raf's beast of the match for me is...
Yeah, right?
He's going to spoil it.
He's going to spoil. Don't spoil it, Pat. All right?
I don't care. Spoil it all you want.
Nah, spoil it.
Our name on awesome. World Feed. Do it.
Yes, do it. Thank you, Pat.
Here's the deal. We have that panel like we mentioned, right? We have the panel, and if we need help, we get help. Today we got some help. But never, ever have we given the responsibility to one other person in our tenure here, right? It's always been between me and Biz, and then at the end of the day, the final choice is ours, Ralph, right? Panel or not, choice is ours. Yeah. Patrick Kendrick gets to pick the beast of the match. I really actually like this celebrity beast pick. I think that's a pretty fun. That's a pretty fun
man. It popped. I was like, oh man, Pat confused it.
That was a brilliant move for you, buddy. Brilliant move.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I try my best. But great show again. Thank you to everybody in the chat, all live listeners. Rafa, great show again. But until next week, Forza, big game next week against Roma, guys. I can't wait to be back here next Monday. Oh my God.
Sunday Eastern Time, 2:45. Yes.
But until then, Forza Napoli sempre, guys. Take care.
Ciao.
Ciao.